The culling. Last we saw Osira and Nighthawk and Ruby. They were at Dr. Aish's house. Dr. Aish had betrayed them and had ostensibly turned them over to the X and I. And of course, Nighthawk, being churlish and young, decides to turn himself in because he doesn't want to spend the rest of his life in prison. And unfortunately, he is, as seen by other people on secret cameras, he is assassinated on the spot. So now we have a situation going into the song The Culling, where Dr. Aish realizes the error in his ways. He shouldn't have turned the kids over. How could he trust the man? Osira's freaking out. She doesn't want to die, and she's a person on a mission. And of course, we have the cold calculus of Ruby, who's the mixture of Ruby the Corrine robot from the 1970s based on a 1930s film character, mixed with the pure consciousness of Shiny, who is now slowly hurtling back towards Earth for reasons yet unknown. So that's exactly where we are in the story, and I love this particular moment because Dr. Aish realizes the error of his ways, and he decides in a moment of true fidelity to his true integrity, which he had stood for his whole life, and in a moment of weakness that turned over the kids and the robot to the X and I, he decides to give them the one thing that he had prepared for himself if he ever faced a similar situation, being a doomsday prepper type. So without words, he opens a closet, he reaches in, and he grabs an old school jetpack, and he hands it to Osira, who looks at it and says, basically, what the heck is this? And Dr. Aish hits a little panel on the floor, and the roof opens up, and above them is now the blue sky. And Ruby, understanding what is happening, snatches the jetpack, puts it over Osira's shoulders, wraps her arms around Osira, hits the jetpack, and off they go, zooming into space. And now Dr. Aish has sacrificed himself because certainly he will be killed by the X and I. So great nobility to Dr. Aish in the last moment of his life as he goes out on his shield as a hero. The quick ascension, because of course Ruby hit it to get out for maximum speed, because knowing that they would probably be shot at, causes Osira to pass out from the loss of blood and oxygen to the brain. So this is Ruby now communicating to Osira Ruby's feelings about where they are in this particular form of narrative. There's this beautiful kind of, as you hear in the middle of the song, it gets very instrumental. So this is allegorical in terms of visual sense of the flight of these two having this kind of connection, this sort of idealized relationship between a robot, however sentient, with, what's his name, Shiny's consciousness, and then this young person who really does want to change the world. So musically, you'll hear some allegorical, emotional stuff there as they descend back to Earth. This is 10 songs in, so we have just one little bit of more piece of music, and we'll be at the end of Act 2.